This case hits hard. A young mom and her toddler vanish, and the family's left grasping at shadows. When I first read this, my heart sank. How does someone just disappear? The police calling it a homicide so early sent chills down my spine. You can feel the family's panic, and Robert's name keeps popping up. Why? Let's dive into those first moments of dread and see what clues point to the truth.
The 18th came, Genevieve waited, but Jasmine never showed. She called. No answer. She texted. Nothing. That wasn't like Jasmine. She would never miss plans, and she would never ignore her messages. A pit formed in her stomach. Something was wrong. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a step back. To understand what happened next, we need to know how Jasmine got custody of Aaliyah in the first place. Jasmine was just 23 when she became a mother. Aaliyah's father was Robbie Sanderson.
Genevieve's gut was screaming something was wrong. I've been there. When someone you love goes silent, it's like the world stops. Jasmine wasn't just flaky. She was a devoted mom. Her not showing up for dinner? That's a red flag waving in your face. The family's desperation here is so raw, it pulls you in. What's gut-wrenching is knowing Aaliyah, just 22 months old, was caught in this too. Let's look at Jasmine's past to understand why she trusted Robert.
He and Jasmine weren't married. At first, everything was okay, but as time went on, cracks started to show. Robbie never wanted to have a child. Robbie began coming home late. Then he started coming home drunk. It only got worse from there. His temper started to flare. One evening, Robbie demanded money. Jasmine refused, but he wouldn't let it go. She locked herself in the bathroom and called the police. When he realized what she was doing, he snapped. He kicked in the bathroom door, ripped the phone from her hands. He didn't hurt her, but
Jasmine was fighting for her daughter's future, escaping a toxic ex. You can't help but root for her. But then she meets Robert, who seemed like her knight in shining armor. I get why she fell for him. Stability, charm, a fresh start. But that basement light Genevieve saw? It's haunting me. Something was off, and Robert's about to face the police. Watch how his story unravels. It's like he's tripping over his own lies.
Downstairs flicked on. Moments later, Robert finally opened the front door. The officers wasted no time. They stepped inside. Robert, still groggy, said he had been sleeping with earplugs in and hadn't heard them knocking. His explanation only got stranger. When pressed about Jasmine, he casually said she was with her sister.
How's it going?
Says she's with her sister.
Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Alright, well, we're just going to take a quick look around. We're going to have a look.
So, sorry, you're Robert? Okay. So,
I was sleeping. I sleep with plugs in and...
hey, we've been here for hours and hours and hours now, hey? Banging on your door and...
ringing the doorbell. Calling your phone. I've been drinking and smoking a lot, so...
Okay.
The whole reason police were there was because her family hadn't heard from her in days. Robert's answers were all over the place.
So, she's not with her sister. What do you mean?
Well, that's the reason that we're here,
Why do you think we're here?
is that the family's calling us, saying we haven't heard from our daughter and our sister.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense?
Yeah,
Okay, why does that make sense?
because I haven't heard from her either.
Okay.
First, he acted like he had no idea why the police were there. Then, suddenly, he said it made sense because he hadn't heard from Jasmine either.
So, do you guys get in some sort of argument?
Robert's excuses are infuriating. She's with her sister? Really? The police are banging on his door and he's acting like it's no big deal. I felt my blood boil watching him dodge questions. His "I was sleeping with earplugs" line? Come on, that's not just suspicious. It's a neon sign screaming guilt. The cellophane on the window, the garden hose. It's like he's mocking everyone. The evidence is piling up, and Bragg Creek holds the key to what he's hiding.
And as if the weight of everything had finally become too much, he confessed. He admitted to killing both Jasmine and her daughter. Robert didn't move the bodies right away. He waited until the next day. He drove out to the woods near Bragg Creek, choosing a spot he thought was hidden enough. There, he placed the bodies and soaked them in gasoline, not to burn them, but to confuse any cadaver dogs that might come searching. He believed the strong chemical scent would throw off investigators if they ever got close. But he didn't stop there. To make it look like Jasmine had packed up and left with her daughter, he destroyed anything that could tie them to their former lives. He built a makeshift fire pit in the woods and burned everything: Aaliyah's car seat, their clothes, personal belongings, erasing all traces of them. He wanted it to seem like they had simply vanished, as if Jasmine had truly run away and left nothing behind. When it came to his car, he knew he had to cover his tracks. He filled the back seat with mulch. In his mind, mulch smelled like decay, and he thought it would blend with the scent of death, making it harder for search dogs to detect anything unusual. This wasn't just a rushed cleanup. Every detail was planned. Even inside his house, he had taken extra steps, scattering raw bacon around in an attempt to throw off the dogs. He believed pork had a scent similar to human flesh, and if the entire place smelled like it, it might stop the dogs from pinpointing anything incriminating. Then, as if to prove how untouchable he was, he offered to show them where he had hidden the bodies. In the middle of the night, they drove to Bragg Creek, deep into the woods. He led them to the site, not far from where he had burned the belongings. The bodies were exactly where he had left them, wrapped in blue moving blankets and covered with dirt, sticks, and mulch. But what Robert didn't realize was that the moment he led them there,
I'm speechless. Robert's confession is a punch to the gut. He planned this. Gasoline, mulch, bacon to fool the dogs? It's sickeningly calculated. Jasmine and Aaliyah deserved love, not this monster. The way he bragged to those criminals shows zero remorse. Thank God they were undercover cops. But knowing Aaliyah's tiny shoes were burned in that fire pit, it breaks me. The courtroom's next, and I'm praying justice hits hard, though. Nothing can bring them back.
But there's no victory in a case like this. Jasmine should have been watching her daughter grow up, not fighting for her last breath. Aaliyah should have had a lifetime ahead of her, not an unmarked grave in the woods. No sentence can fix that. No courtroom decision can undo what happened. But what it can do is make sure that the man responsible never gets another chance. It locks the door on his freedom the same way he took theirs away. And while Jasmine's family will always carry this pain, at least they don't have to wonder where he is. They know exactly where he'll be.
I love you girls beyond words. You know that. You're my angel.
Genevieve's words tear at your heart. Jasmine and Aaliyah were her world, and now they're angels. This case isn't about winning. It's about loss. Robert's locked away, but that doesn't erase the pain. I keep thinking about Aaliyah's smile. Stolen forever. If this case moves you, share your thoughts below. Let's honor their memory by keeping their story alive. Hit subscribe. We'll keep uncovering truths together.